Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invests. I'm recording this just before opening 10 a.m. on the 29th of July 2021, and we are seeing a lot of companies release their quarterly reports, and many companies have been put onto my to-do list, including just today Tesseract, an absolutely stellar results for that company this morning. But we've been seeing about 10 to 15 companies over the last 3 days being added to my to-do list. So many more companies I'll have to get through over the next month or so before I finish my mission to cover every single company that releases a cash flow positive June quarter. The company I'll be looking at today in this video is Damstra. This is a classic case of where sentiment can control the share price of a company. And we'll have a look at their chart since they listed on the ASX towards the end of 2019. At one point, we did see the share price rise from 40 cents to a high of $2.40 in about, I think it was about 7 months. And then we've seen the share price fall from $2.40 to just below 80 cents. That took about 9 months. And the business has not changed during this period. It's just the fact that the sentiment has shifted in this company from highly positive to negative, and that's been driving the share price up and then down. And it does look like potentially the sentiment in this company is now shifting back to positive because of their June quarter results. So let's get into this video and talk about Damstra and some facts around this company. Damstra provide workplace management solutions that enable their customers or clients to track, manage, and protect their staff, contractors, and organizations, and reduce risks when it comes to workplace safety and regulatory compliance. Ticker code of Damstra is DTC, and the reason this company is called Damstra is because the CEO name is Christian Damstra, so he founded this company. He also leads this company. He's now based in Denver, United States. A lot of investors out there love founder-led companies like Damstra because there's skin in the game. And I think that is a pretty good strategic move to put or place the CEO of this company into United States, into Denver. The market cap of Damstra right now is $217 million. At share price of around $1.05. The last time I did a video on Damstra, which was after their March quarter results, the market cap of the company was $161 million. That's with the share price around 80 cents. So very attractive valuations of that company at that point in time. It has grown, and most of the growth in the valuation or the market cap has occurred just after they released their June quarter results. And we'll look at the chart to see how the share price did rise quite rapidly on the back of the June quarter results. Revenue in the trailing 12 months, $21.5 million and growing, and operating cash flow positive by $6.1 million. When we look at the annual recurring revenue, it has grown from $33 million to $35 million. And something I do to get a rough estimation of the value of a company like this is just to multiply annual recurring revenue by 10, and that is a rough guide because you're not taking into account the growth in annual recurring revenue. When you do that for Damstra, you get a valuation of this company around $350 million, which is higher than the current valuation. And this company is growing at a solid rate, not strongly, but we'll say solid. So I do think there is some potential here. When you look at the valuation, it is lower than it can be. And we'll look at the chart because in the past, this company has been significantly more valued or higher valued than what it is right now. And it's only down right now because of that negative sentiment that drove the share price from $2.44 to a low of just under 80 cents. If you do want more information on this company, have a look at their Appendix 4C they released on the 22nd of July and look at any presentations this company has released or just go to their website. That's always a good, solid base to do your research from. Before we delve into Damstra's June quarter results, I just want to go back to the March quarter and just to see how they have progressed over the past 3 months or so. Receipts to customers in the March quarter, $7.2 million. And that was a little bit disappointing because receipts from customers had become flat. It wasn't really growing, even though the annual recurring revenue was growing. And even though it was flat and the annual recurring revenue was growing, we could maybe surmise that we would see some growth in the receipts into the June and September quarters. That's a rough assumption to make, and sometimes assumptions don't work. And they were operating cash flow negative by $375,000. But over the first 9 months of the financial year, they were operational cash flow positive by $2.3 million. They began the quarter with $7.6 million and finished the quarter with $4.4 million. So even though they were nearly operational cash flow positive, they were burning cash in their financing and investing activities, which did drive that the amount of cash on hand through the quarter down to that level of $4.4 million. So let's see how they have transitioned into the June quarter. And in fact, the June quarter results did see a substantial rise in receipts from customers, going from $7 million to just above $10 million for the June quarter. And the company, Damstra, was operational cash flow positive for the quarter by $513,000. Now, since this was the last quarter of the financial year, we do know the full year numbers. Receipts from customers, $31.7 million, which was around that annual recurring revenue that we did see by the end of the quarter, $35 million. A lot of times you will see receipts from customers lag behind the annual recurring revenue by a little bit. And for the full financial year, they were operational cash flow positive by $2.7 or $8 million. So things are going good for Damstra when you look at the full year results. They did grow cash on hand through the quarter from 4.4 to 9.8 million. But the main reason they did grow cash is because they borrowed $8 million. That is one slight negative thing I do have against Damstra. I would prefer companies not to borrow money because in the end, borrowings and loans are not the best thing to have in your books. I prefer companies to be net cash instead of net debt. So that is one slight cross I do have against Damstra. They are going into debt. Damstra listed on the ASX in late 2019. So we do have 7 quarters of receipts history right now. And the main thing to take away from this little graph is that receipts are trending upwards. And that's exactly what you want to see in a growth company. Receipts have gone from 4.6 million in that December quarter 2019 to current receipts of 10 million. Sometimes you will see the receipts going sideways or be flat. Sometimes they will go backwards a little bit, but overall receipts are going up for this company, just like annual recurring revenue is increasing. So this is exactly what you should expect for a growth sort of company. I've already mentioned that the sentiment of Damstra is the main driver of the share price movements. And this is the daily chart for the company, going back to when they listed on the ASX in late 2019. So they listed just before the COVID-19 financial panic. And during that panic, the share price of Damstra fell all the way down to 44 cents before we saw that V-shaped recovery in the share price. And that recovery in the share price kept on going all the way to October 2020. In fact, the share price rose from 40 cents to a high of $2.44 in October. So that's a 510% increase in 7 months. And that's all because of some positive sentiment in this company. And just before that share price top of $2.44, there was an investing advising service that recommended Damstra. And on the back of that recommendation, we saw a massive rise in the share price in a few days. And unfortunately, it seems like this advising service recommended Damstra at the peak of the positive sentiment in the company, because just after that, we saw a rapid decrease in the share price and a shift in sentiment around this company. And the share price fell from $2.44 to 76 cents in 9 months. That's a 70% decrease in the share price on the back of no negative news, just a negative sentiment. That's all it took, is just negative sentiment. And then when the company released their Appendix 4C for the June quarter, we saw 2 really positive days that drove the share price from 76 cents to about $1.15. That's almost a 50% rise in the share price in 2 trading days. And since then, we've just seen the share price go sideways. So this seems like a potential another shift in the sentiment of Damstra from negative to positive. We are in the last 2 trading days of July, and it's quite busy for me as more and more companies release their Appendix 4Cs and their 5Bs for the June quarter. All companies need to release their quarterly cash flow report by the start of trading on the 2nd of August. So that's next Monday. So only those companies that need to release their quarterly report, not all companies need to do that. So we'll see most companies release it by then. If they don't, they'll go, or their trading will be suspended until they do release it. The next 4 companies I'll be looking at or doing a video on are Coda, Emerge Gaming, Invion, and Swift Media. And many other companies I'll need to do a video on, very popular companies, particularly among viewers of this channel. And they include Big Tin Can, Gascoigne Electro Optics. Maybe I'm the only one who cares about that company. SciDev, Arctis, AR9, Alcidion, Live Tiles, 3DP, which is Pointera, and Fluence, and of course Tesseract, which released their Appendix 4C on the 29th of July. And it was an absolute stellar quarter for that company, and I'm very glad I've taken a position in there. Also do a video on BrainChip, even though it wasn't operational cash flow positive. There will be a few videos I'll do on companies that didn't quite get to that point, but I just want to do a video on those companies. And they include Volpara, Limeade, Next Science, Whisper, and Mac7. So have a look out for all those videos, which hopefully I'll be releasing in the next month. That is all I have for this video on Damstra's June quarter Appendix 4C. If you have any insight about this company, or you know a little bit more than I do, I'd love to hear or read about your feedback. So leave a comment in the comment section of this video. Last thing I should mention is I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.